Hail, Metal Nation! It is I, Tim. You're listening to Podcast Them Down. Joining me on this metal promo review, hashtag NPR, as Matt would say, and then I get mad about that, is Dave, from drummer extraordinaire of Burning Shadows, and Eisenmore. Links in the description. So, metal promo review, as I mentioned. We're going to read some metal promos, then we're going to decide how many ears we intend to give the promo based entirely on the promo material for whatever is being promoed. Did I say promo enough?
Promo.
All right. Let's dive right in. The Brazilian death metal band EREBOROS released their new single, Path of Solomon. In Greek mythology, Erebor represents the deep darkness conceived as a primordial deity, the personification of darkness, one that was born of chaos. The first self-titled EP, EREBOROS, that's EREBRORS, has 5 songs that will be released in the second half of 2022 on all streaming platforms in the singles format. It's already ready at this location, beacons.ai/Ereberos, which I already spelled for you. The promotional and artistic photos were taken by Roberto Guido, a nationally and internationally renowned photographer, also from Rio. So I guess they're from Rio.
Sounds like it.
Currently, the musicians are focused on excelling in launching their debut and giving their best. In this new endeavor, the new path is not just a metaphysical question of death and rebirth and the eternal cycle and of renewal of hermetic philosophy. It is traveled through the surrender of the flesh and soul. The only link here is beacons.ai/EREBOROS. And there is a artwork. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. It looks like an evil Symphony X cover, I guess.
Yeah, I was thinking like a late era Doom of Wargear cover, but yes.
Yeah,
I like evil Symphony X as well.
There's a skull with horns and some like,
and then, like
Roman
skeletal, like a skeletal Madonna and child above all of it.
Yes, also with horns. Also with horns.
I mean, that's a whole look. Erebor makes me think of The Hobbit and the quest of Erebor.
I was thinking
for the Lonely Mountain. Yeah, and this is okay. So, unrelated story. I first started listening to Amon Amarth because I recognized it as the name for Mount Doom and assumed that I was getting like Blind Guardian adjacent kind of music.
But instead,
Vikings. Instead, I got that.
Wah wah. For our listeners, he held up his Mjolnir. There's a J in that word, so it's Mjolnir.
Excellent pronunciation, Tim. Oh, well, all right. So, since they didn't mention anything about the Lord of the Rings in the promo, and since Brazilian death metal is my favorite kind of death metal, but that's really saying very, very little. I'm going to give this a half an ear. I'm enthused by their enthusiasm, and I think that it's admirable that they're taking on such weighty lyrical topics. I don't love the single format. I have to say this as a preference. Like, I would always rather consume an album than, or at the very least an EP, than something that's meant to be released and consumed in individual tracks. That drives me crazy.
I agree. I Googled EREBOROS, and
oh yeah,
they do have a Bandcamp, which they decided not to mention anywhere.
That's a blunder.
And then
there are plenty of bands,
and it's all their singles. So I get why they're doing this. This is advice I've heard numerous times. So like instead of releasing an album or an EP, you release a single and then promote it for a month, and then release another single and promote it for a month. So that way you always have something to talk about, because people's attention spans have become so shit that they can't focus on anything. I hate it. I'm with you. I'm old. I'm curmudgeon-y.
Oh God, it's getting worse.
Give me everything at once. You know, even the streaming video services are abandoning this model, and they're trickling out the episodes. I kind of liked it when they gave you everything at once, and you just spent a day watching it. Yeah, I know that's different. I know it's different.
And I understand that from a creative standpoint, it's easier. And I don't want to say easier like it's a bad thing, but it's a smoother maybe process to record a song, perfect it, and release it, if that's how much material you happen to have at the time. Like, there are a bunch of bands that I listen to on Bandcamp that will like play new songs live, and then 6 months later they'll just like release a single song that they went into the studio for after having played it on a tour for like 6 months. But I still wish that they would put all of them together in an album instead of making me, buy singles.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Anyhow, half an ear to our friends in EREBOROS.
Yeah. I will give them one full ear, and I wonder how much of that is Krisian's fault. All right, moving along. I haven't even read ahead to see what's still coming.
Oh my, I love this. We're taking our, and I want to take a second for everybody out there listening.
Hey, we have a new patron. Thank you, patron.
New patron, this bonus content thought goes out to you. I appreciate how much this podcast adheres to its core values of no preparation. I mean, obviously, Tim, you found these reviews at some point, but I love that you don't know which one is next, because it's like we're taking the same journey that our Twatchers and Patreonans and listeners across all platforms, really. We're all on this journey together. None of us know what's coming next.
All right. I bet you couldn't see this guy. Out. Well, it says out today, and I got this a week ago, and this goes up in another week or so. So out recently.
Out now.
FULLMÅNE, Fly Through the City, metal/punk from Norway.
Interesting.
FULLMÅNE, Fly Through the City, self-released, out July 16th, 2022. Format digital, genre metal/punk.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mad Moonshine Matisse is the only permanent member of this band, playing all instruments and vocals and also producing and mixing everything himself. Fly Through the City.
You already said they were a Norwegian metal/punk band.
Where's the... I'm too slow on this soundboard sometimes. All right. Fly Through the City speaks of running in circles in the maze of the city.
Man, as someone who has done this in not one but two major Norwegian cities, I think I'm all ready for this.
Living the so-called dream of rock and roll destruction, trying to escape a grim reality of your own inner ghosts. FULLMÅNE is a black metal punk band, originally a one-man project from the cold Norwegian mountains. The band is now based in London. Oh,
that's
London. Requiring evil members to join the cult. With the moon as their guide, FULLMÅNE experiments in raw power and mystery, lurking in the streets, looking for beer. For fans of Motorhead, Mayhem, and Venom, recorded in the basement of an anarchist squat with some basic home recording equipment. Recorded, mixed, produced, and mastered by myself. Bandcamp is full-moon.bandcamp.com.
Oh, we're going to translate it for all the Londoners. Okay.
Right. And then the artwork here has got to be one of those anaglyph 3Ds.
Holy shit.
where it's
What am I
like
looking at?
it's like red and cyan offset.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you had those 3D glasses from the 80s.
I hate it. Because I don't have those 3D glasses from the 80s, and it
I
just looks
actually
like a
do
portable
somewhere.
headache.
No, I do somewhere. Let me see if they're
Okay.
nearby.
All right, and I'm gonna take a moment to unpack all of this. I know I initially booed when I heard that they went to London, but historically speaking,
they're not where I thought they were.
that's the country in exile, at least England, for Norwegians over the centuries. I mean, starting and Nick from Eisenmore can correct me, but I'm going to say the 800s or 900s onwards, there was a Norwegian presence in England one way or another, and these beer-seeking Norwegian black metal punks sound, equally rapacious as the Vikings who showed up in the first wave. That said,
if you're
Cat has locked himself in the basement
good kitty
room, so I'm going to let good kitty out. Well,
in
soon
that
as I finish this little bit of the review,
yeah.
I can't stand most mayhem. Take my metal cred, I don't care. Venom never did it for me, and Motorhead I only enjoy live. So they get 2 ears by virtue of just being Norwegian, minus a half an ear because I don't like 2/3 of their main stylistic influences, and then minus another half an ear for that cover, which gave me a headache.
Yeah, so since you bring up the cover, I'm going to describe it a little bit more. So FULLMÅNE definitely has a black metal-y looking logo. And I don't know, it appears to be like a chalk or perhaps crayon drawing, very crude, with a guy standing in the middle of the road holding a Molotov cocktail. And then on the left, there appears to be like a hypodermic needle sale sign. And on the right side of the street is like a punk. And then there is, like with the spiky mohawk. And then there's a car driving towards our friend with the Molotov cocktail. And then it looks like some Microsoft Word art for the fly through the city text at the bottom.
I'm glad you mentioned the Microsoft Word art, because it really all does look like it was kind of done in paint.
Yeah, and I accidentally withheld some information. There is a band photo of our band leader. And,
Mastermind.
Yes. And tell me what you see here.
I see exactly what I expected. I see probably what there was clearly a leather jacket over top of what looks for all the world like a traditional like Dala of Norway sweater.
Yep.
And a wild-eyed Norwegian young man with a maybe cigarette, maybe something else in his mouth.
Yeah, it looks like a normal cigarette to me. So not like a jazz cigarette.
Boo, I love jazz, man.
So
what a look too. He reminds me a little bit of Rick, if Rick was nicer.
Wow. So I would give I lifted my one-man black metal band ban on this because there's just too damn many of them. But I read this one, and just for the fact that I did that, that's worth half an ear in itself. But I can't give more than that. All right. Last one.
I love the tagline that they're cruising the streets looking for beer. Like,
I can't fault them for that.
Certainly not, but just
I like how he did imply that there's other members of the band. He just will not mention them.
It's like the old Blind Guardian ethos. Like, they never named a permanent bass player after Hansi stopped playing bass. And the absolutely illogical rationale was they didn't want to have to fire someone. So they weren't going to add any band members, so they didn't have to fire someone. It's like, but you still got rid of your bass player.
All right. This is another out today from last week. Battle S word. Oh no, Battle Sword. Towards the Unknown, melodic death metal.
Oh yeah.
They are on MDD Records, out September 16th, 2022, just like the other one. CD and digital, so you know they're old. So we got all the youngins releasing singles, and now we have a band releasing proper CDs for people like us.
Normally, if you want to monetize some physical media, you're going to make vinyl. But CDs shows dedication to the olds.
Yes, thank you for that. That gets our seal of approval here at Podcast Them Down. All right, sorry, I missed a very important sentence. Melodic old school death metal strikes back. With Towards the Unknown, the German melodic death metal institution Battle Sword returns with new material in the 23rd year of its existence and proves that they are far from being old hat and certainly not willing to think about retirement. On the contrary, on the new material, the concentrated load of experience breaks through in the form of an energetic steamroller that threatens to bury everything in its path. With their distinctive mix of melodic death and Scandinavian old school, the band manages to write songs that have classic potential from the very first riff, seemingly effortlessly, even in 2022. You hear them patting themselves on the back?
I mean, this has already got 2 ears from me, but please continue.
Towards the Unknown was recorded and produced by Michael Fryo Haas in April/May at Big Easy Studio in Henneth. I'm thinking of like New Orleans.
They probably have, oh man, I really hope they have like New Orleans Bourbon Street Mardi Gras style decorations in the studio. For the mastering, the band turned to a master of the genre this time, and so none other than Dan Swano refined the album. Whoa. The same person who mastered Eisenmore's Shield Brother album. So you know, he did some good work. These guys are in fine company.
In addition to new material, Towards the Unknown contains the songs from the 13th Black Crusade maxi, which has been out of print for many years, as a bonus, which has also been remastered for this purpose. For fans of Ill Disposed, Deserted Fear, Amon Amarth, Swedish death metal. Then, track list: Departure, The Awakening, To Become the Wolf, Terra Combusta, The Shores of Eye, Hound of Hades, Backstabber, and then bonus tracks: There Will Be Blood, Fire and Storm, The 13th Black Crusade. Lineup: Axel vocals, Eric guitarra, Lars guitarra, Ben bass, Andreas drums. And there is a band photo of them in a parking garage. And they're all wearing, so let's see. 3 of them are wearing long jeans. One of them was wearing cargo shorts and the other's wearing black jeans. They're all wearing black t-shirts. Some of them are band shirts. One's like one of those like show off your necklaces type of shirt. You know, like I can't tell if it's a V-neck or not.
You know, that definitely qualifies as a deep V.
Yeah, and then that's got to be a parking garage. I don't know what else it could be. And then the album artwork is, I don't know, that's something I'd do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's like a Viking canoe with a cloaked figure, kind of like gondola-ing it.
I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and say that
who's trying to get in, and there's a beautiful sunset, and it's on the shore. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's probably Death's Ferryman.
Yeah,
Karen, whoever you want to call him.
I don't care what her name is. She's Karen. And then their logo is pointy as shit.
Oh boy.
It looks like a thrash metal logo. Well, no. It looks like a power metal logo that grew thorns. Yeah, so
I
I'd
like
like to
everything
start on
about
this one if that's okay.
Please.
A band that's been around for 20 years, re-recording old stuff or re-releasing old stuff. Yeah, you're wearing a Burning Shadows shirt. That's totally,
You know how I feel about
that's
that.
totally stuff I'd do. The melodic death metal part, they said old school, so that's what gives me hope. I'm hoping for Old in Flames. And I did get, by the way, the halo effect.
Yeah, this is the thing that I keep hearing about.
Yes, and I sat on this for like a week because I was like, what if it's terrible? But I'm actually enjoying it. It does not sound like Old in Flames, but maybe these guys do. But they didn't mention it in their thing. But that's a lot of hope. I'm gonna give this 2 full ears all the way. I'm gonna listen to this.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm giving this 2 full ears, and I may or may not follow through on listening.
Oh, perfect score! That's amazing.
I don't know what it. Okay, and full disclosure, I have a serious bias, a prejudice, if you will, when it comes to the German people. A prejudice.
I
love Germany. My wife and I just got back from Germany, and
for our German friends, they got Zaruk.
Yes, indeed, we got Zaruk. Yeah, das Zaruk Reise. Ouch. Sorry, everyone. Entschuldigung. I love it. I love everything about it. I like the fact that they look like they're tech sector workers who are in a metal band after hours. I like the fact that their location is 4 different states in North Rhine-Westphalia.
Is it? Did you look them up on Metal Archives? Because I was too busy reading.
The location is Viersen, Cologne,
Neuss, I see it now.
Jülich, Gevelsberg, North Rhine-Westphalia. Yes. Hello, Michelle. We are live on the air, and I was talking about Germany. Not really. This is such excellent content.
Sort of.
We're kind of talking about it a little bit.
Well, if you enjoyed that cameo, you're going to enjoy a future episode.
Yes, Mrs. Spencehammer is going to be joining us later to talk about our grand European crusade. We were there. We were back. It was a German trip. We were super efficient about it. But back to Battle S-Word.
Yeah.
I love it. And Tim, we're getting older, and we need to maybe start reevaluating, or I may need to start reevaluating what I think of when I hear old school. Because when someone tells me old school death metal, I'm thinking like Carcass and that's like mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I'm thinking late 80s or early 90s. That's what I'm thinking of.
They might mean mid 90s.
Yeah, but I mean, they said old school melodic death metal that got popular.
Yeah, that's
in the
like
late
93
90s
to 97.
Yeah, so
I mean, yeah, if these guys are putting together something that sounds anything like In Flames or Dark Tranquility, or I dare say it, second and third middle years Opeth, I'm in for it. I like it. And the cover is appropriately colorful. I would listen.
Yeah, and I might have to check out these other bands they listed. Deserted Fear, Ill Disposed.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not familiar with either of those bands.
Well, I
do like they took the entirety of Swedish death metal and said, yeah, that.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that before. All right, well, there's your winner. It's not a competition, but I guess in this case it is. And your winner on this metal promo roundup is BATTLESWORD. So, congratulations. How do you say congratulations in German? I feel like I should know that one.
I feel like I should too.
Okay, well...
but I don't.
Let us know how to write it. Put it in the comments. All right, until next time, Metal Nation, keep it metal.